Hi, my name is Catherine Clark, and we're here to talk about spirituality. Now, I'm going to start with a story. So, a few years ago, I decided I needed a dog. And um, having raised six children, the decision to get a dog was a big one. But the last of the six children had gone. And I had to have something. I couldn't go cold turkey and not have anything in the house to take care of. So, my husband, who's a farmer, finally agreed, okay, let's get a dog. So my daughter and I went and did the search start. And this is a whole thing, is what I discovered. This is not just, you're looking at breeds, you're looking at prices. It was before COVID. So in Ireland during COVID, the price of dogs went to like an absurd thing, like the tulips in Holland and the Dutch tulip crisis. So that's what happened with dogs. But before that, we found a hypoallergenic dog. It was a poodle. I was looking for kind of a poodle. I wanted a dog who was smarter than me, and I wanted a dog who was definitely hypoallergenic. So we found this dog puppy, and he was a little golden and then a poodle. So the day came to bring him home. So my daughter and I went and got him and brought him home. Now, there was a terrible slipping accident, and no more needs to be said. But the dog yelped and appeared to be a little injured. So my daughter and I kind of fancy ourselves to be smart, and we started Googling and we started looking at the dog. And then we thought the dog is so nice. The dog is probably 4 now. He's nicer than all of us put together. And the dog was very kind, almost like, you poor fools, how did they let you adopt me? Who's screening these owners? But we thought we checked him out, and he seemed kind of okay, kind of not okay, but he would whimper a little in certain positions. So we thought, this dog is just a drama king. He's just a little drama king. There's nothing wrong with this dog based on our Googling. So he was staying kind of quiet though, in fairness. And so then recently, then like, okay, 6 hours into this, my husband gets home and we're talking about the dog. Oh, look, isn't he cute? Oh, he's so funny. He's a total drama king. He's like, what do you mean? Well, because he's a poodle, he's very sensitive. And so they take everything really hard. But he slipped and he fell and we slipped out of our arms, really, if you want to put it that way. And he gave a little yelp, but he's fine. And he said, put the dog down in the middle of the room and just walk away. And we said, why? Why? He said, well, just, I want to look at him. Put him down in the middle of the room. So we put the dog down in the center of the room and we walked away. And my husband looked at him for about 6 seconds and he said, the dog's leg is broken. Take him to a vet now. And of course, you know, we were, we were like, what? What are you basing that on? We Googled this. He still can move and he's this and he's that. And we were fighting, we were argumenting with him like, receiving his information oppositionally because we had Googled it. So, who were we? We were artificially inflated about our intelligence regarding the animal. My husband, with his experience of animals and farming, just had to look at him and he could tell, I don't know, I should have asked him, what are you basing it on? Well, we did ask him and he just said, like so many farmers, it's broken. It just is. If if you don't understand why, I can't help you, and I'm not going to explain myself. You're just wrong. Anyway, we'll go to the vet. It's broken. Not only is it broken, it's badly broken. He has to have surgery and have 2 pins put in it. And this is Ireland. They don't do that casually. And I live in farm country where a puppy is the least of their problems in terms of injuries and illnesses. But they said, no, you can put him in a cage for a month, but that's going to affect him socially. And we weren't doing that. So, really, what happened was we had the surgery and the dog sat in our lap for a month, and which was far better, really, for socialization and bonding than if he had sat in a cage. Okay, too much information about that. My point, we're all looking at artificial intelligence, and it's the latest amazingest, most impressive occurrence that is rendering us all experts in everything. I recently flagged the potential for problematic occurrences, or there could be problems with this. I talked to somebody who's in the tech field and I said, what about ethics? It seems like this is a great time to be an ethicist in this area. And he started laughing and he said, oh yeah, it's a great idea. And I looked into it. And he said the problem with the ethicists with integrity is they're all out of work, because what happens is they hire the team, and then when they flag the obvious ethical issues with regard to what they're about to do, they get fired. So he said there are more ex ethicists than there are acting ethicists. Um, I said, well, do you see that there are potentials for real trouble with artificial intelligence? And he said, yes, it's a rodeo. It's like the Wild West. It's wide open. And companies involved in it are going as fast as they can to create systems that are ethically challenged before anyone catches up with them. Now we're in Europe. And I said, well, who's going to catch up with them? And he said, well, it's got to come from the United States. So I hope and pray that you and I are watching, and we can help be part of that if it has to happen. Maybe every one of us has a role in observing it and seeing not just the phenomenal benefits, but also the potential risks. Remember when the internet first came out? Maybe you don't. Maybe that's me at my age. But I can tell you that it was phenomenal to Google wasn't Googling then. We were researching, or whatever we called it, looking it up, and we could find out such wonderful information. And that was magical. But it took away I don't know, when you learn a thing on the internet, do you get the feeling it doesn't stick? Like, it's no substitute for real study. Like, I was interested at one point in the Schumann resonance. And the Schumann resonance by itself is phenomenal. There, you don't need the internet for that or artificial intelligence. And the Schumann resonance has a lot of benefits to humanity. So you notice if a dog gets sick, a dog will scratch a hole in the earth and jump in it. They'll just get in it because they they need to heal. And dogs are barefooted, if you will, and they are connected to the earth all the time. And this is what they want, and this is what they need. They should have some time every day touching the grass or the earth so that they can ground themselves and, be happy. But the Schumann resonance, let me think of what it is, 7.83, I think. 7.83, yeah. Okay. So if you tune into the Schumann resonance somehow, if you want to just go out and stand on the ground, it's really powerful if you're standing in water or wet, damp grass. It has these mental health benefits and physical health benefits. I think in 45 minutes of grounding, you replace all the electrons in your body. Now I'm just trying to remember what I learned, but I learned it pretty well because I learned it from books. When I was interested, I bought a bunch of books on this and read all about it and how people used it. And okay, I'm going to talk about the silence thing and how this can help with that. But the benefits are it enhances your memory and learning. It improves your stress tolerance, their emotional balance, and mood. It's really good for well-being, calmness, inner peace. So if my thinking is as follows, we all know we need more silence. Like, I take supplements. I like them. I take a few. I don't take a ton, but there are a few that really do help with my body. And maybe you take vitamins or some kind of liquid supplement. Liquid is really good because it's absorbable. But in the same way, you need supplemental silence. If you can supplement your day with silence, you will find yourself becoming calmer. Now, for some people, silence makes them anxious. They can't handle it because we have so much constant input and noise we don't even realize that we're lacking something, which is silence. Now, if you've ever been like dehydrated, you were probably not thirsty, because when you're dehydrated consistently, which many of us are, your sense of thirst goes away. Your instinct or your urge to drink just goes away. That's how we can become. But you and I know that we need, I don't know, 3 liters of water a day, half a gallon. I don't know what it is, but we need more water than we get. I think silence is the same way. I think when you're deprived of silence long enough, you don't know that you're missing it. And your mind can't relax, can't really think. When you get used to silence in your life, if you have 2 hours of all noise or interaction, you become maybe agitated, a little anxious, um, fretful. Your thoughts start moving quickly. You know, silence is crucial for you. Now, my idea is this: if you find that silence is difficult for you, download an app that will play the Schumann resonance for you, and then just play that resonance. So you play the Schumann resonance auditorily, and then that's your noise that will keep you calm, because you can have difficulty getting used to this. And it's going to calm you down, and it'll be I'm saying, if you're not used to silence and you find it difficult, then you can start by playing the Schumann resonance and see what happens. Do it for, just make a commitment for half an hour a day. Although really, if it what they say about the 45 minutes to replace all the electrons in your body, maybe a great experiment would be 45 minutes a day of silence, except for the Schumann resonance. You don't have to sit there. Do whatever you want. Clean your house, put it through earphones and wash your car, whatever it is. But try this, because it's silence while you're parking the spot with a resonance that's going to ground you. Google the Schumann resonance and see what the benefits are. Benefits of the Schumann resonance. I think you'll see that there's a benefit for us. Now, I've been thinking about artificial intelligence, because part of me is thinking that one of the side effects of its existence is that there's this artificial inflation going on. And that's what I call it. Oh, so and so is artificially inflated and knows everything, because they're using artificial intelligence to replace what is the mind's seeking and searching and yearning. And you could say, well, artificial intelligence is a methodology for seeking and searching, but it's not going to solve the yearning problem. That's always going to be something uniquely human. And artificial intelligence isn't going to replace humans. There are people who literally think that they are useless eaters because machines can do it better, and they're not using resources like food and water, and they have a carbon footprint, small though it may be. Where are we going with that nonsense? Artificial intelligence is not going to solve the need for human connection, nor its complexities. Human connection is complex. It's really, one study that I heard about once said that people can predict happiness based on human connections, not job, not money, based solely on human relationships. So what that tells me is, in your life, you need to prioritize human connections. It's tough. Social anxiety is real. Being fed a diet of false, manufactured human connections with the constant entertainment probably makes us all feel a little inadequate when it comes to real connection and finding your way toward another person, with all of the clumsiness and anxiety that comes with that. By the way, we're all anxious. It's a human condition. Some of us have learned to manage it better than others. Uh, some of us are suffering from it more based on um, foods that are bad for us. Like if anyone is still doubting that what you're eating and drinking affects your mood, let me say one word, and that is Starbucks. And you can fill in the rest. Um, so don't think you're alone. Don't think you're the only one. The Schumann resonance really does impact anxiety and mood, low mood, and all those things. There's peace to be found in listening or experiencing the vibration of the earth. Some people sleep grounded, which means they just buy a grounding sheet or mat and they put it under their other sheet. And then that um, Schumann resonance is coming up into their body all night long. And then you're like a little dog in a little dug hole who is being cured by the vibration of the earth. I love it. It's fascinating and it's fun and it's cheap and it's not going to hurt you. It's putting your body back where it belongs in the resonance that it was intended to be in. So, like what AI has done in 5 years is extraordinary. I'm not denying this. I'm not like an AI Nazi, but I can't say that it's all good. That we're going to have to stipulate to the pros and cons. And think about it. I mean, what AI could do in a profit driven culture could become very evil. We're in it. We're in it now. That's why we have to be alert. You and I have to be alert. And when you say, like talking to a young person, well, my job's going to be obsolete in 5 years because of AI, there's all these threats. It's so childish. Oh, well, then you won't be needed anymore. We'll remove you from the planet. I mean, it's just that's the kind of tone that these companies are putting out. And I am sad to say a lot of us are vulnerable to this artificial inflation because the cool people are all like, whoa, artificial intelligence, it's replacing everything. Nonsense. It's not. It's not going to do that. People are going to need to look at someone when they're dying. They're going to need to look at someone when they're sick. They're going to need a face looking back at them, mirroring them back in a way that says, I see your pain. I see your suffering, and your suffering is finding a resonance in me. I will suffer with you. Well, that's compassion. Now, who's going to do that from artificial intelligence? I don't think so. Um, there's this someone who said, I'm going to read you this. I read this. Now, it was artificial intelligence, again, stipulating to the pros, that probably put this in my feed. And that was good. I liked it. Okay, thank you, artificial intelligence. Um, this is by someone called Dr. Noam Chomsky. It's from an article in the New York Times on March 8th, 2023. And this is his opinion because I got labeled for this, for reading this. I really got labeled for it. Okay. The human mind is not like Chat GPT and its ilk, a lumbering statistical engine for pattern matching, gorging on hundreds of terabytes of data and extrapolating the most likely conversational response or most probable answer to a scientific question. On the contrary, the human mind is a surprisingly efficient and even elegant system that operates with small amounts of information. It seeks not to infer brute correlations among data points, but to create explanations. Let's stop calling it artificial intelligence, then, and call it for what it is and makes plagiarism software. Because it doesn't create anything, but copies existing works of existing artists, modifying them enough to escape copyright laws. Okay, that's Dr. Noam Chomsky. Now, what I was told when I read this to somebody was, oh, I'm not a fan of the artificial intelligence is evil and machine learning is going to take over the world and dominate humanity. Well, gosh, I never said that. I just think he made a good point. And what's coming from the human mind cannot ever come from artificial intelligence because what's coming from the human mind is a person mixed with the divine. The divine created us. The divine is involved in our days. Your days right now, here we are with the divine doing this so that you'll learn that your mystical senses, your spirituality is something you can acquire. I wonder would artificial intelligence have the strength of my desire that you be given this? This love and caring about mankind, I don't think we're going to be able to do anything but mimic it if we're using a machine. The obvious thing too is that artificial intelligence has created, I know you guys listening probably hate me using the word arrogance, but I see it as such a problem. The most beautiful thing in the world is humility. And humility just means knowing your place. And it doesn't mean you're in a low place. It means you're in a dignified space on the planet with a role to play. You don't have to be everything or know everything or even access all the knowledge. I mean, if someone's breaking into your house at night, you're not going to call artificial intelligence, although maybe it will assist you in getting policemen there or women. You're going to need help. When you ride in squad cars with police officers and you watch what they do, you know one thing very quickly. You are not a police officer. And your instinct is going to be to drive away very quickly rather than get involved in what are, the out of control situations which prompt those phone calls. So while my daughter and I Googled everything about our little puppy, we were wrong. We were really wrong because it took an expert in experience of animals to say there's just a little something about him, the way he's holding himself, that tells me he's really injured. You just have to be you. And I hope you're not in a circumstance where you have to listen to people telling you everything they know about everything all the time, because it's making you tired if you are. Do you ever have a feeling where you're like, oh God, I'm not mentioning this because I'm not in the mood for an hour of combat over a circumstance I don't really care that much about? You might want to mention something. And literally, here's what people are doing. They're holding back because they don't want to be, it's a casual comment about a current event can prompt an oppositional tone from somebody. And then it's like you're in it. It's on. Oh, it's on. Oh, we're in it. And you find yourself defending a position you don't even hold because there's a tripwire in people's minds that says fight, fight, fight. And, then everyone's Googling and it's just a mess. You want to just climb out the window, escape, find a nearest Schumann resonance, plug in, and try to get yourself back to a calm state of being. If we want to talk spiritually, let's talk about state of being again. Now, we're not going to say much, but state of being is everything. You're in charge of it. You are in control of your mind, even though you feel you're not. And on some days, you can grab hold of it 100 times and it's still wriggling out of your hands. And what I'm talking about there is the calm, peaceful state of being that really is your right as a child of God and a brother or sister of me, of us. And so let's flip that and just say, if the rest of humanity, if I'm related to everyone and they're my brothers and sisters, I should be trying to play a role in their existence of peace. I don't want to upset somebody in a grocery store because I'm in a bad mood and it's not going fast enough for me. I have an obligation to humanity to not impact them negatively. And that's on me. My point is, people go around upsetting other people for very little reason to get something out of them that they don't want to deal with. They're transferring it. Oh, I don't like feeling inadequate and foolish because someone just ripped into me based on a Google search. And so I'm going to go somewhere else. And the next person I meet, I'm going to make them feel inadequate. Those are my thoughts. You are loved. I love you. I would find yourself some Schumann resonance mechanism. Get yourself grounded at night if at all possible. And keep that mind calm. Thank you. Bye bye.